Hey guys, welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Final Cockins, and we're doing a predictions video. We haven't really done that many or at all this season because they've all been kind of, oh, that's what's going to happen. This one, we were both kind of like, oh, can you be the 8th, – or next week, please, because it's pretty interesting where it could go.
Yeah. So exactly. They're heading to Talos IV, so we're excited
Oh.
because we've seen Talos IV before. We've seen the Talosians, and it's a very interesting story there, obviously. But what link does this have with Spock, with his mental break, with the Red Angels? Yeah. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today.
And what we did is actually went through the next time on, and we rendered it out as frames, so we can then pinpoint the best frames for each one and the single frame cuts. It's a very quick cutty thing, and it's actually just show you and pause on the necessary information. So Stuart might not even necessarily have seen these cuts. So it starts off with a shuttle on Talos IV. Yeah.
Is it Talos IV, or is it the place where the rebels were in the Mirror Universe? Because it looks like the exact same landscape. Dun, dun, dun.
How do you know that wasn't Talos IV?
Ooh.
Well, we know
Because I know it wasn't. Yeah. So anyway, yes, this is obviously the scene where she looks like she's in her miniskirt in the trailer, which she's not because she's in this gear.
Yes.
But
Looks like we're going to get a good commitment to actually exploring that. It's not just going to be a reference or whatever. I mean, you can't, if you're going to actually the cage location, the start of Star Trek, you can't not show the same cliff face. You can't not show the same Talosians. You can't not mention Vina. You can't not show Vina. You can't not do a lot of these things. And so it's interesting to see what approach they take. They take the TNG season 1, 2, and 3 approach. Or we can't reference the old stuff. Or do they take a Enterprise season 4 approach? Let's really embrace the actual canon and use it to enhance the story. Or the Discovery season 1 approach, where let's take what happened before, completely redo it to make our own show work and ignore how it really fits into the world. So it could be any of these ways, and that's both scary and exciting.
that's a good way to put it. Yeah. Now I was intrigued at the end of the last episode when she said set a course for Talos IV maximum warp. I expected the computer screen to go red and say that is not advised. There's the General
We'll
Order
kill you.
7. So yeah, the death sentence. I expected the computer to pipe up about that, but it could be that has not been implemented yet. That death sentence initiative could be implemented by this mission that they're on right now, which would be a fantastic tie-in.
Again, same moment. I was expecting a greater sense of urgency, but the fact that no one knows, she doesn't know about it. It's just a place. Yeah, this could be some seriously dark stuff could happen. And it's the sequel to Cage, basically. Although I do think Pike will stay out of that half of the storyline. I think that'll be very much his side and this is their side, which I think works well. Next shot, Discovery's at warp or slipstream of hyperspace. And then, all of a sudden, we see a Section 31 ship behind them sharing the warp tunnel. Are they chasing? Are they running away? Is it joining the fight?
Yeah, are they both just heading somewhere really quick together? Yeah, so you're interesting to see what Section 31 and Chris Pike are doing at this time. If they even if they're on the trail of Burnham, if they're going to Talos IV, it'll be interesting to have Pike back there. But I don't think he's going to be there. I think this is going to be a Spock and Burnham on Talos IV, and probably never mentioned to Pike at all. So,
or the Talosians wipe their memories of them as they leave. Something clever. And it's interesting how I got instant flashbacks to Into Darkness of the Vengeance coming up. But I'm assuming that Leland is, well, if he's even still in command fully, because now the key is Burnham. Where's Burnham gone? Let's go back to the crew and ask them where Burnham's gone.
we gotta get Spock back.
And now we know the more distinct direction, because Spock was irrational and who the hell knows, but now there's a more direct, understandable link, and that could lead to bad things. And this is where the voiceover happens, because that's worth mentioning, the very important voiceover of Spock saying, I've seen a possible future, and one that could be determined by our actions. So he's seeing a possible future. That's what the Red Angel showed him, either when he was young, couldn't understand it, didn't understand it, or just before. It's why he went crazy.
Yeah, I was mentioning in the last episode, Pike said maybe the Red Angel showed him a vision of the future that he couldn't comprehend or accept. So, cool.
Which I like that linked in directly, because that doubles down the time travel, doubles down the potential.
Maybe they see a future of ships looking like this, like they shouldn't look, and that the Picard series is going to be set in the Discovery verse. So we need to fix it because Spock can't comprehend that.
Hopefully. But it's interesting because is that a temporal Cold War thing? Are they ignoring that and doing something else? You know, with time travel, you've got multiple layers. We know there's 29th century time cops that should be affecting and fixing the timeline. We know there's the 31st century time war people that, again, can just appear in your room and keep technology and change things. And then we know, so there's all these time levels, and add to them is tricky. And so this probe 500 in the future is the 2750s, which is earlier than all of those, but since time is non-linear, they all also exist at the same time, unless this is its own universe, blah, blah, blah. But the next sequence I thought you'd want to talk about.
Not particularly. There's a fight in the mess hall with, looks like Tyler and Hugh.
But that's
my guess.
You wanted, you can see a still of him, yeah. That's what wasn't clear in the trailer, but it's definitely them. I thought you'd be all on this, Stuart, because that's the story you're most interested in last week.
Well, I am interested to see how this plays out. I'd be pretty annoyed too if somebody broke my neck. Just saying. So yeah, this is going to be I don't know how much of this is going to be actually like a B plot storyline.
Oh,
there's going to be so much Talos. Yeah, there's going to be so much Talos IV and that kind of thing going on. I don't want this to interrupt it. This should be more of its own episode kind of thing. So I don't. It'll be interesting to see how much it plays into it.
I just think he's going to walk in, or Tyler's going to walk in, he's going to stand up and just beat him up. Like, it's going to be instant, primal.
Or Tyler's going to be sitting there eating some food and have some celery and go, and it's going to just set you off. That sound. Next scene is looks like what happened at the mental institution. You've got Spock doing some doodles of the 7 orbs on the floor and all the equations, and looks like his signature a few times. There's a few spots that actually look like a signature. Oh my god.
The implication seems to be that whoever the singular, or works for a group, company, whatever, they're trying to save something, stop somebody, or whatever. Why would you send Spock images of the first thing, which is the red orbs happening, and then also send him the thoughts of the future in that order? And this is all in his head, but then why is he only doodling this? Because this is the least important bit. It happened, reality. There's no information gleaned from this.
It could be the most important bit. We don't know yet.
Oh, what, like the locations are all their home, is the 7 enemy homeworlds make up the future, coalition that destroys Earth, and you need to go and either save or destroy these 7 locations? I wish they'd answered to us if these 7 were the 7 we saw in the show, because you never get a sense of, was actually Kelpia, or whatever the planet was called, was that actually where one of the 7 was, or were there an initial 7 around the galaxy and then just more popped up, as in one at a time? Because that seemed random, because then there's like 20 locations that red things happened at, and these red things didn't mean anything. They were just a warning sign for what? And are other races, are Klingons, investigating other ones, and then different red angels pop up in different locations with them? Are there 7 races chasing 7 different signals, which are all the same? Now it just seems a bit weird to have done this initial visual. And as other people have stated, it's also daft that you can detect 7 light sources from across the galaxy. This is not how light travels. It's not real time. You can't do that. But I'm sure they detected radiate out of there. Like drawing the angel is fine, because that's the tech. But now we're evolving past that in the story. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sure we'll get our answers.
Yes. Well, in the next scene, we see a shuttle flying toward, I'm assuming, a black hole of sorts, a massive. These are very quick half frames that are interesting visuals that could be nothing or everything, and it's or maybe it's it'd be kind of, it's a shuttle. Wouldn't it be kind of fun if it was Talos IV's first defense mechanism? If you make your planet look like a black hole to someone approaching you, but she's like, and then Spock just comes out of his stupor and says, "Keep flying," and Burnham's like, "We will literally die." He's like, "No," and then they fly, and then they just are on a planet.
That's exactly what might happen, to be honest.
Because it seems very random, but it'd be really kind of cool, dumb but cool, but good dumb,
Does it look to you like there's like two other shapes above the shuttle
Very possibly.
that look like other shuttles?
Or lens
like
flares.
nacelles. Yeah, I thought it might be lens flare, but
Could be either.
anyway.
Yeah.
Interesting. The next scene is the Red Angel. No big shock there. We're going to see it.
It does come out of camera, and it's quite a... I think this is the moment that I think this is the past moment when it comes to Spock when he's young, because there's... Yeah. We'll get to that a little later. But
it looks like he's looking up at it, yeah.
We're definitely going to see either the present or the future Red Angel talk to him, and it'll be much more visceral. Here I am, come with me to save the future, sort of thing. I'm actually, what's his name? Captain from the Relativity. I'm wearing the suit because the ship's in the shop. Relativity's got I'm Braxton. Aeon, it's got a flat tire, and Relativity's out of fuel, so I had to take the suit.
And on that note, next scene, we see the Talosians finally redesign. We've actually talked about this already, the redesign, what we think of it. I'm sure we'll have more to say after this episode airs.
A lot more.
Pretty interesting reimagining. I'm looking forward to seeing more of them.
Yeah, I don't know when we're going to have that before after this video comes out, probably before. But as we said in the previous one, it's a good visual update reboot. It's more generic now, but it's more alien. It's kind of lost that Talosian spark, but it's gained a more uniform alien look. So it's kind of a weird rebalance, and the nose thing was a mistake, probably. Doesn't quite... It unbalances it quite a bit. And then Burnham talking to them, and they do some mind stuff, and it looks as if... I think I did call this out last week, that they'd use their psychic powers to do something really important with Burnham and Spock. I think I called that out specifically. That, yeah, they are going... I mean, it makes sense that their brains are so powerful, they can understand things, and so they're able to go into Spock's mind and either unlock or share the imagery, is what they're literally doing with Burnham, what's inside his head. And yeah, the most powerful psychic minds in the galaxy they know of is a natural means to an end.
And the next scene probably speaks to that. Young Spock in bed with the red glow, which means it's probably the first appearance of the Red Angel, or one of the appearances of the Red Angel, talking to him.
Well, we'll see in a minute that there is Burnham running away from something. So this is the time she runs away, and so they normally you set up stuff earlier on in the season. So they set up the fact that she runs away. He knows. He tells. They go fine. So I'm assuming we're going to just see that played out in real time. Spock looking fine, but in a Talosian something or other.
And then you got Spock looking like Snowjob from G.I. Joe. Now, this is interesting. Is this actually another interaction during the 5-year mission with Pike, where he sees the Red Angel? He's on a frozen planet. Because it doesn't look like anything on the Talosia, I don't think, or Talos. No. Talosia, Talos. But maybe it's I know what it is. It's Spock from the cave in 2009, because he was wearing a winter gear. It's the Kelvin Spock that saw the angels there. Don't know. Anyway, interesting scene. Be interesting to see how this plays out. But I have a feeling it's during the 5-year mission with Pike. That this may be the inciting incident that makes him go crazy and decide to take a leave. Because that looks like just standard winter gear. So yeah.
Did you see this frame when you watched it the first time around, or was this?
I did not.
Yeah, it's one of the still frames. It's definitely a weird standout. I think you're right. I mean, you can tell he's not got a beard. Like, it would be visibly changing the face. So I would love to see that. This is the flashback. You're right too. In the 5-year mission, they're on a mission. He's looking completely normal. Doesn't necessarily need the uniform because he's in the snow, but it looks normal Spock. Sees it again, then he goes crazy. Pike, he doesn't go crazy straight away, but he's different. And then Pike, you see Pike in his uniform, being up to Enterprise, and you see a lovely Enterprise tease, another tease. That'd be kind of nice. A good way of.
Very much.
We know they built the bridge. That's for later. Yeah. But if they could still have reshot this and include a quick little. Especially if later on in the season they do reset Spock to shaven and then neat hair, you could use that as a little cheeky double flashback. But I think this is a fun mission. Although that said, it could be it could be twofold actually. It could be the Talosians showing him his memory that Burnham can live with him because they have that power.
Yeah.
Or it could be a actual different captive container on Talos, which is a snow environment. So several possible alternatives. But we see the Red Angel then doing epic glowy
telling
things.
him that Burnham's run away, because next thing is her running away. Although I don't know why there would be trees and foliage on Vulcan necessarily. It's more of a desert planet. But
well, we see in the episode there is lots of foliage and rain around Sarek's house. So I'm sure it's areas of, which is confusing because I feel like this is obviously the shot from Vulcan, but Vulcan is defined by its redness.
yes,
Even when they are on Vulcan Enterprise, you see a sense of red even at night. This is a very like English forest, like even feels like an English forest. So it's a bit odd. And there's I don't know if it's this exact shot, it might be a different shot, but there's actually there's a ground monster that comes up and chases her, and that's really weird. That's in a few seconds, but I'll put that now. It's like, yeah, she's been chased by a ground monster. Sure. And then we get the probes, a fleet of probes, firing a fleet of smaller probe bombs that nuke Earth, maybe, and then cause a red flare, maybe. But this is one of those things where quick cuts that are out of sequence to make you think powerful is affecting how you think.
well, in the last episode they said they're not sure if the Red Angels are causing disasters or saving disasters or preventing disasters.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very interesting to find out what that's all about. Definitely looks like Earth, and then we see it get blown apart.
And this in this context, I feel like this is very much Talosians showing the epic. It looks like 09 actually is showing psychically what you're seeing. And we're just seeing this is the future that I'm being shown with Angels. This fleet of thingies come in and blow up Earth, and a fire, a shot of one Burnham on a planet, Spock looking sad, Burnham falling, and then waking up from that nightmare on Talos prison, and then Spock's fine, and he says, "Now you see." He's healed, probably.
I mean, like I said, I want this to be the reason that the death penalties set up for Talos IV. And this also makes sense that Spock has visited Talos between the cage and menagerie, and basically do the events that unfold result in Pike probably saving the day or saving Talos or something, so that the Talosians feel they owe him something. So Spock knows that he has the opportunity to go back there with Pike in the menagerie. It's interesting that he'll be talking to the Talosians and be able to know for a fact that they will help him out if the need arises. So I really like that.
But this one certainly gives us a sense of... I mean, it's nice. It's a very simple, short teaser, which gives us the obvious sense of we get to know what Spock knows. And it's pretty devastating, and it's from the future. And the Red Angels are warning. They've been warning him and the whole world for his whole life. And it's this threat we're going to see that now we have a hint of. And hopefully maybe Saru can unscramble time distortion sensors and work out more about that probe reconfiguration and such, and we'll get some good strong Talosians. I like the idea that it's not about them, that they just happen to be. Spock knows they're very good at psychic, therefore go to them. Like, they're not the ones that are calling to him, they're not the ones that put it in his head, they just happen to be. And so it's a side note.
That's interesting. I never considered that, but yeah, that makes perfect.
Yeah, it's a better way of focusing on something that we know is important, but contextually, because I mean, how many missions did Pike have where it was really, really important? Probably lots. They were one of many, but they're psychically just ridiculous in a good way. And so when they leave, and to be fair, they probably owe. I think you could say they owe the crew of the Enterprise after piss them around a bit in Cage. So yeah. I think they owe him a favour. The favour of read my mind and fix me, please, with psychic powers and yeah. Cool.
I never considered that. Yeah. Well, there you go. We're looking forward to seeing it. I wish, like you said, I wish it was tonight or tomorrow, because I'm really excited for it. So
this first one
it might be tonight or tomorrow, depending on when this airs. We're filming it. We're filming it on Friday, the day after. So
time travel. And this is one of the few episodes that I've actually been like, I really need to see the next episode. It's been a truly cliffhanger worthy and solid episode of the solid part 2. So I'm eager. Yeah.
So, guys, what do you think about this? What are your predictions? Put them down below. We always love hearing your thoughts. If you want to help out the channel, you can. There's a Teespring store link in the description below. Head on over and check out some cool Trekyards merchandise. Maybe pick up yourself a few things. And, of course, one of the best ways to help is to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Share it around to other people that might want to subscribe, because more subscribers is always good. And don't forget to click the notification icon, because we like to do prediction videos and breakdowns and a whole bunch of cool stuff on here. And you guys might want to see it all. So if you want to, click the notification icon so you get notified.
But the simple thing is just Patreon. That's the backbone of what we do each and every month. Give a little bit of support, or a one-time donation at Trekyards.com, as well as all the stuff Stuart said. It's the simple things and the regular things and the complicated things, and just the simplest, which is, as you said, share, because we try. We talk.
Don't forget our lives. Our lives are important, especially our live breakdowns of the episodes. We go scene by scene. We have notes, and we have a really fun time engaging with you guys. And super chats are a great way to help out the channel, like instantly. So, until then, whether you watch another video or another live or whenever you're watching this, until the next time you see us, I'm Captain Foley.
I am Connor Coggins. Bye, guys.
And we predict we'll see you in the future.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.